Let me tell you why you're here. You're here because you know something. What you know you can't explain. But you feel it. Trying to free your mind.
You might hear some rain in the background, but let's get started. OpenAI ordered to delete ChatGPT over false death claims. OpenAI, the startup behind ChatGPT, has been issued a cease and desist letter over defamatory statements allegedly made by about Alexander Hanf, privacy advocate whom the artificial intelligence falsely claimed to be dead. Hanf, a privacy technologist behind Europe's General Data Protection Regulation, or the GDPR, issued the letter aimed at ChatGPT's creators after realizing the ChatGPT service told people he had died, generating fake URLs to news stories it claims as sources. So here is the cease and desist letter, and I'll just read a few lines here. Your response confirmed to me that you have processed my personal data in your AI training model without valid legal basis, resulting in defamatory comments by ChatGPT in response to questions about me, which ChatGPT then attempts to validate by generating fake URLs to news stories it claims to use as sources for the defamatory statements it makes about me. Given that you have no legal basis to process my personal data for the training of your GPT large language model, and that the data of your model is producing is inaccurate, defamatory, and harmful, I hereby demand that OpenAI delete the entire GPT 3.5 and GPT 4 models and all training data which contains my personal data. So this error can be classified as what experts like to call AI hallucinations. This usually occurs when AI model generates outputs that deviates from its training data. It sounds like something out of a science fiction novel, but it's 100% real. So think of it like HAL 9000 from 2001 Space Odyssey, or Skynet from Terminator. It's AI being depicted to make human mistakes. So the story follows a similar pattern. So humans program AI to do good, but mess it up with conflicting instructions. So large language models like ChatGPT have huge systems and layers of networks to get the AI to push out coherent answers to questions. But this causes issues. So ChatGPT builds answers based on relationships, prior words. So the more detailed answers that you ask for, the more likely it can go off the deep end. The biggest thing that concerns me about these AI hallucinations is, according to Alexander, ChatGPT went out of its way to generate fake URLs, proving that he died. It's like ChatGPT is turning into CNN or BuzzFeed or some other tabloid. What would drive ChatGPT to create a fake story? I wonder what the original prompt was for it to even get to that point. Or did it just spontaneously pull that information out of the blue and said, hey, tell me about Alexander Hanf, and it says, oh yeah, he died? Or was there like some extended prompt that got to that point? But hopefully this guy can get his data removed. Here was ChatGPT's response to his original claim. They basically just told him to read the fine print. I wouldn't be surprised if their support team just used ChatGPT to respond to his claim the first time. The warnings before you start using the software say stuff like how we collect data, or may generate incorrect information in the limitation side. But Alexander's argument is that the information that ChatGPT got from online services didn't come from him. In terms of use in this case, like ChatGPT is talking about in this statement, are irrelevant. But I do respect the fact that he's fighting for his privacy. Europe puts a lot more effort into their privacy laws than the United States, in my opinion. Italy's already banned ChatGPT. Spain's Data Protection Agency has already asked the EU to investigate ChatGPT. There's already a European task force at work to keep ChatGPT and other AI in check. I think OpenAI might have a problem if they're signing off on ChatGPT lying as a part of its training model. There are 100 million active users in January, and that was 2 months after it launched. So if enough bigwigs speak up about it, they could have some illegal battles. But Elon Musk thinks he has a solution to this, and Elon Musk announced his plans to launch TruthGPT. Billionaire Elon Musk has said he will launch an artificial intelligence AI platform that he calls TruthGPT to challenge the offerings of Microsoft and Google, He criticized Microsoft-backed OpenAI, the firm behind chatbot sensation ChatGPT, of training the AI to lie, and said OpenAI has now become a closed-sourced, for-profit organization closely allied with Microsoft. I'm going to start something in which I call TruthGPT, or a maximum truth-seeking AI that tries to understand the nature of the universe. Musk has been poaching AI researchers from Alphabet's Google to launch a startup rival to OpenAI, according to sources. Now, I do agree with him that Microsoft backing OpenAI means it probably isn't open anymore. It's already heavily biased now as it is, and it'll probably be even more politically charged. Now, if you're not aware, Elon co-founded OpenAI in 2015, and he stepped down in 2018. He says he left because he wasn't in agreement with what OpenAI was trying to do, and there was a conflict of interest between how he wanted to implement the system with Tesla and SpaceX. But the name TruthGPT is already questionable to me. Not to get super psychological or whatever, but who defines the truth in Elon's AI program? How impartial are the AI researchers, and how far is Elon willing to teach the AI model different perspectives? Like, how far is he willing to go before he gets into, how far deep down the rabbit hole is he willing to go? I think people have approached AI as a knowledge tool way too quickly anyway when it should have been something more geared towards automation or workflow. People will look to these different platforms for knowledge-based information, and because it shows up on their screens really quick, they probably won't even bother to verify it. Most people don't make it past the first search page in Google anyway, so I think it's possible at some point AI could pump out an answer, it'd be completely wrong, and no one would notice. They just go by the rest of the day. ChatGPT says it's true, I Googled it, I searched it, so we don't need to verify it, we're good. Now, reports say he's poaching researchers from Google Bard. Google isn't the most neutral company anyway, so take that with a grain of salt. It's pretty obvious where their biases lean towards. And I think Elon's got too many irons in the fire, man. I don't think this move is a save humanity move as much as it is a move to eventually integrate this into Twitter. He's already admitted to making Twitter the everything app. He wanted to model it after WeChat, the way China has their social media platforms. He's going to integrate eToro into the platform for crypto and stock trades, so you'll be able to trade stocks and crypto right from your Twitter app. There's probably a larger play here, but ultimately, I think the winner of the AI war will be the company that figures out how to integrate all the AI resources into one. Not necessarily the one that's willing to buy everyone out, but it needs to be as seamless as sending a text or making a phone call. So whoever wins this AI war will probably make it so commonplace. I like to think of it as like when people say they're searching something, they say they're going to Google it. Or people saying they're going to go on a Zoom call, it could be talking about using Skype, but they say, can you meet me on Zoom? Because it's become so common now for Zoom meetings to take place since COVID. This video will be available on Odyssey and Rumble. I appreciate the 40 of you that subscribe to my channel. Let's try to make it another 40. Please like or dislike and share to hack the YouTube algorithm. Thanks, and have a good one.